Hello everyone, I welcome you all in this second video of rigid body motion. So in the last class or last video what we have discussed is if we have a container filled with any fluid up to some height, let's say h, and if this is x and this is z axis and the whole container is in translational motion with ax as acceleration in x direction and az as acceleration in z direction, then we found out that the slope of this free surface will change, and it would be given by this formula del z by del x equals to minus ax upon az plus g. You can also remember this formula as the horizontal acceleration, negative of horizontal acceleration divide by net acceleration, net relative acceleration in the other direction. So this is az, this is g. So these are in opposite directions, right? So if you write the relative acceleration, then you must have heard that if the velocities are in opposite direction, then their relative velocities will be the sum, so you will sum them. So yeah, the same thing, dz by dx is equals to negative of horizontal acceleration divided by the relative acceleration in the other direction. So this we have discussed, and we can also draw it like we know that this is also tan theta. This is also known as tan theta, and if tan theta is negative, this means theta lies between 90 to 180, right? Theta lies between 90 to 180. So this means the slope of this line is, the inclination of this line. Slope is given by this only, but the inclination is given by theta. Tan theta is this slope and theta is the inclination. So we can say that inclination is between 90 to 180. That is, the line will not incline like this, it will incline like this, right? This is a angle greater than 90 but less than 180. So this would be the shape of the free surface under these this kind of translational motion with ax and az as the acceleration. So this was basically a general case. Now let's talk about the particular cases of this problem. So let's first discuss about pure horizontal motion. So if we will have pure horizontal motion, then clearly the az would be 0, acceleration in the z direction would be 0. The container is only allowed with acceleration ax in the x direction. This is the only condition. If we put this az equals to 0 in this above equation, say 1, which is the equation for general case, then we would get tan theta as minus ax by g. So from here we can conclude one thing, that if we increase acceleration ax, suppose there is a particular value of acceleration, and at that particular value of acceleration we are getting the slope of this inclination of the free surface as this, and we are increasing this acceleration, then as we increase this acceleration ax, this term will get more negative. Like if initially it was minus 3, suppose that, then it would become minus 4 because we have increased the acceleration. Then you know that tan is a degree, tan increases with increase in angle and tan decreases with decrease in angle. So since the value of tan is getting more negative, that is, the value is getting decreased if we are increasing the acceleration, this means the angle is also decreasing. So for increasing acceleration, this, if suppose this is the angle and we have increased the acceleration, then our tan theta value would go from minus 3 to minus 4, and for minus 4 we would get a less angle. So if this much is the initial, then after increasing the angle would be less, like this much. If it would be this much, then our line would be go like very much, like become steep. Are you getting my point? Initially the angle was this much, but because of increase of acceleration the angle became smaller and it it became this much. This means the line that was like this, because of increase in acceleration, is becoming like this. So if the line or the free surface is becoming like this, then there is a huge possibility then there would be an acceleration at which for which the water is just about to spill. If you increase a little bit of that acceleration, then for that acceleration the free surface would cross the boundary of the container, that is the water will spill out. So in this type of question, in this type of problem, they always ask a numerical that suppose if we have a water filled at if we have water filled in a container and if we are accelerating that container, then what would be the maximum acceleration that we can give to the container without spilling the water. So this is a very important question that comes. So let's discuss that question now. So if suppose the question is like that, there is a container, uh, total height of the container is 10 meter, and we have water filled in it up to 6 meter. 2 meter is its width, and we are supposed to find the maximum acceleration such that water will not spill, water will not spill. This is what we are supposed to find. So as discussed earlier, we know that if we increase the acceleration, the free surface slope decreases and the free surface will and rise up, and there is a chance of water spilling out. And for the acceleration for which it will equal to the height, we would get the maximum acceleration. So for the maximum acceleration case, the water should reach up to this height, right? The free surface should reach up to this height, because if it would reach after that, then the water would fall. So if this is 10, this is 6, then this much height is 4, right? This much height is 4, and this we can call as theta. We know that it is a incompressible case. So if this is the water has gone 4 up this side, then it must have gone 4 down this side. So this must be 4 also. So if we apply tan theta, then we know that tan theta is dz by dx, and this tan theta can be calculated as, this is 4, this is 4, this is also 4, can be calculated as 4 by 1, right? 4 by 1. This implies tan suppose this angle as 5, right? Suppose this angle as 5, so tan 5 we can calculate as 4, and this is 1, right? This is 2, half of it would be 1, so 4 by 1 would be this tan 5, and 5 we can calculate as, if we calculate this, let me do the on the calculator, it would come as 75.96 degree. So if this is this angle is 75.96, then this angle theta we can find by theta plus phi equal to 180. We know that this will happen because of the linear because it is basically a line, no? Angle formed on a line is 180, and this phi we have calculated at 75.96, so we can calculate theta from here as 1 it would come like 104.03. So if theta is 104.03, then we got our tan theta. Now we calculated our tan theta, which is nothing but dz by dx, and we know that it is given by minus ax by g for the horizontal case, and tan theta, the theta of this angle would be minus 4 equals to minus ax by g, minus minus cancel, ax equal to 4g. So if the you can have acceleration 4 time acceleration of g, this and that acceleration will not cause any spilling of water, and this is the maximum acceleration. If you increase the acceleration by 4g, the water will spill. So this is the first case. So let's discuss about the second particular case of the general rigid body translational motion. So this is pure vertical motion, pure vertical motion. So in this case, so suppose if there is a container filled with water up to some extent, say h, same case, and it is only allowed to do motion in the vertical direction, that is in the z direction. It is in the z direction. So the acceleration ax in this case is equals to 0, but there is some value of acceleration in z direction. It is finite. It has some it got some finite value. So we know that the general case suggested us that dz by dx is nothing but minus ax divided by az plus g. So for this vertical motion case where the container is moving on either in this direction or this direction, the dz by dx would be 0 divided by az plus g, because the ax term is 0, right? There is no component of acceleration in the x direction. So for this case, the numerator is 0 and denominator is a finite number, so it will come out to be 0. And for any value of az, either 100, either 1000, either 10,000, you will always get dz by dx as 0. And dz by dx is nothing but the slope. Slope means tan theta. So from here you can find out theta. Theta comes out to be tan inverse 0, right? Theta is the inclination of the free surface, and you know tan inverse 0 is 0. This means if you have a pure vertical motion case, then the shape of the free surface would be horizontal. There would be no inclination. The inclination comes out to be 0, irrespective of any value of az. You put az as 1000, 10,000, tan theta would always come as 0, which in turn will make theta as 0. So for a pure vertical motion, the shape of the free surface doesn't change. तो अगर एक ग्लास में मेरे पानी और मैं उसको ऊपर लेके जा रहा हूँ, तो इसका जो सरफेस है वो हॉरिजॉन्टल ही रहेगा, उसमें कोई चेंज नहीं आएगा. सो सपोज इफ देयर इज़ अ रॉकेट, so if suppose there is a rocket and there is some liquid fuel in it, and this is the payload, and suppose this rocket is initially going, when it take off, you know, when rocket take off they generally go vertically straight. So if the rocket is following this path, suppose this path, after some time they curve their path. So in this region of their journey, the free surface, the fuel, would be horizontal. But when because of this, right, and when the rocket will take this path, then in this path the direction of acceleration is this, and this acceleration has two components now, ax and a, you can call it az, and you know that this is the general case, right, that we have discussed. So when the rocket will be at this point, again the free surface will become inclined. But when the rocket is initially starting and it is only doing vertical motion, then the liquid fuel in it, the surface of the liquid fuel in it will remain horizontal. You can comment on these things using this principle. So this is another case. So there is a one more interesting concept hidden in this part. So let's apply the momentum equation. So I have told you to remember the momentum equation. You know, you have to write F equals to ma because it has been derived from this law itself, and at place of m you should write rho. If you are talking about x direction, then here you should write acceleration in that direction, and for force you must write negative of pressure gradient in that direction, del p by del x plus rho xx. So this is the x direction momentum equation. And if you simplify this for pure vertical motion, you know that ax is 0, right? Because there is no acceleration in x direction. And for xx, xx is the total body force, xx is the total body force in x direction, and the whole body force is acting g downward. There is no component of this g, sorry, mg. The body force is total mg, but there is no component of this mg in this direction, right? Because if you will try to take the component, then mg cos 90 will be the component, and cos 90 you know that it is 0. So there is no component in x direction, so this x-axis is also 0. So for this case, the pressure change in x direction comes out to be 0. Okay, fine. Now if you apply the same for the z direction, del p by del x plus rho x z is equals to rho a z, then here it would come as del p by del z. Here at place of xz, mg would come. No, mg would not come. It is body force per unit mass. So you, when you divide mg by per unit mass m, will get cancelled out and you would get g at place of xz. But since z is in upward direction, and g is acting in the downward direction, both has opposite directions, so here minus g will come, minus rho g is equals to rho az. So if you rearrange it, you will get as minus rho g plus az equals to del p by del z. Sorry if it is not visible to you, I will make it visible to you, don't worry. So this will be the pressure in this. So what I'm trying to say is, if there is a pure vertical motion, then the pressure variation, there would be no pressure variation in its direction. So if if this is the body and this body is moving either in this direction or this direction, then there will be no pressure change in its direction. That means if we are at this level, if we are at this level, I mean if we are at this point or this point or this point or this point, the pressure will be same, P. There is no pressure variation in x direction, but there would be a pressure gradient in the z direction. That is, if we move up or down, or if we change our height vertically, then the pressure change will be there. So for a fixed height, we can, so in conclusion we can say that for a fixed height we will have a fixed pressure in the same horizontal. So if at this horizontal the pressure is P naught, suppose, then at this the pressure would not be P naught, right? It would be something different, because they are separated by some height, and there is a pressure variation with respect to height, so their pressure will be different. But yeah, the pressure along this line and pressure along this line would be same because of this. So so now suppose if we talk about a special case of this pure vertical motion, which is nothing but the free fall, right? for in the free fall, you know that Az would be what, minus g, right? Because z direction is upward and it is acting downward. The derivation that we did was for Az pointing in the positive z direction, but here in the case of free fall, the acceleration that we are getting is g, which is opposite to the positive z. So we have to take Az as minus g. So if we put that minus g in this equation, you can see that the pressure drop in z direction comes out to be minus rho g minus g equals to 0. So this is a very interesting result, that the pressure, there would be no pressure change in z as well as x direction for a freely falling body. So if, let me change the page, okay, then I can explain it you in a better way. So what we have discussed is that if this body is under free fall, then one thing is for sure clear, that the surface shape will not change. It will happen in all vertical motions, motions. But if it is a special case of vertical motion, that is free fall, then del p by del z and del p by del x both would be 0. This means the pressure at here will be same as pressure at here, would be same as pressure at here, would be same as pressure is everywhere in the fluid. The pressure is same. This means this fluid particle, suppose I am naming it as x, it will experience no pressure by the fluid above it. So now what will happen in this case is, if I make a hole at this bottom, if I will make a hole at the bottom, then the pressure here is same as the, and the lid is open. If the lid is open, then PATM will be definitely acting here, right? So, and this same PATM will be acting throughout, because there is no change in pressure along z, there is no change in pressure along z. चाहे आप इधर जा रहे हो चाहे आप इधर जा रहे हो, प्रेशर में चेंज ही नहीं हो रहा, तो मतलब हर जगह प्रेशर सेम है, और आपने नीचे होल कर दिया, तो देयर इज नो फोर्स दैट इज कॉजिंग द फ्लूइड टू लीव. ऊपर से कोई दबाव नहीं है, फ्लूइड विल नॉट लीव. सो दिस मीन्स फॉर कि अगर कोई बॉडी फ्री फॉल कर रही है और उसके नीचे होल है, तो उसकी ना तो फ्री सरफेस चेंज होगी और ना उससे पानी बाहर आएगा. ये एक बहुत बड़ा इससे रिजल्ट निकल कर आ रहा है. सो सपोज इफ़ यू हैव अ बॉटल, लाइक अ वाटर बॉटल, like if you have a water bottle and you made some holes and you are making it free fall. So initially when you are holding it, the water above it will apply pressure and the fluid will drain out from these holes. But if you allow it to free fall, if you throw it, then this falling of water will not happen because of this reason, because the pressure throughout the water is same, and the pressure and the water or fluid is above the hole is not allowing or not applying any kind of pressure to make the flow happen. So this was all about rigid body translation motion.